Get you to Jason Horowitz and Bob Wenzel in Orlando. More college hoops as Miami takes on UCF. So long from Cincinnati.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Here in Orlando, DeJesus at the rim, and he's fouled by Dane Gack as things have started to pick up a little bit. Along with Bob Wenzel, Jason Horowitz, happy to have you with us in Orlando, where Miami has played really well in the opener.
Offensively, they certainly have so far, and DeJesus, who's one of the more experienced players for UCF, gets to go to the free throw line here.
It's a UCF team that beat Prairie View A&M in a struggle on Saturday, 73-69, and it's a UCF team that is replacing more than 80% of its scoring from a year ago. Cesar DeJesus, one of the 3 returning players on this team that does have experience. So far here in this ball game, Miami got out to a good start. Cam McGusty, the transfer from Oklahoma, 8 points. He's hit a 3, has gone to the free throw line. And Colin Smith, the returning big man who started, he's on the bench, Bob, with 2 fouls.
Yeah, and that's really bad news because he's the most experienced scorer and the best player on this team. In his stead, Avery Diggs is in the game, number 5, playing the back of the press right here. So Johnny Dawkins is going to have to use a whole bunch of guys. He's got to get some offense out of pressing. Right here, they're in the press. They want to create some turnovers and get some runouts because their offense in the half court has been pretty anemic so far.
Harlan Beverly, the freshman from Detroit, with the basketball for the Canes. He has been impressive in their first 2 games. And he lost that ball, but it was tipped by UCF.
Beverly's a 6'4" freshman from Detroit. He played in Montverde and in Florida in high school. Very aggressive offensive player. Had 14 off the bench against FAU and 9 against Louisville in the 2 games. So I think Jim Larinaga has big plans for him. Wong, number 2, also in the game, a freshman.
Wong, more of a scorer, not necessarily as much of a shooter. Great look. Vasiljevic wide open from the corner. Rattles in a 3, and Miami's up by 8.
The experienced players so far have done the most damage. McGusty experienced at Oklahoma. 2 years, a very good player there. Vasiljevic right there scoring.
Another transfer. Brandon Mahan well off the mark. Up ahead, another freshman. That is Anthony Walker. And Miami has its largest lead of the opening 6 minutes.
Johnny Dawkins needs a timeout, and he's not going to take it right here. He's going to let his guys try to learn something by playing through a bad situation. Walker is 6'9" and 220 and runs like a deer.
3 freshmen on the floor right now for the Canes. Dazon Ingram, that's the settler now. The grad transfer from Alabama who has almost 100 career starts. Did a great job to get in the lane, but right back, Beverly takes it to the rim.
The freshmen are playing with no fear right now for Miami. And the reason they're able to do that is the experienced players got them off to a good start on a foreign court in their first season.
That ball was deflected. Another good play from the freshman, this time Walker. Batted around Milan. Grad transfer from William and Mary, who's a 3-point threat, though yet to make one here in the early part of the season for UCF.
Different playing at William and Mary against that competition and going against Miami's length and quickness. He's going to have to adjust. He was a very, very good shooter and a very good scorer at William and Mary.
That's a 3. That's their freshman, Darren Green Jr. He had 8 points in his first career game against Prairie View A&M.
The press is not affecting Miami at all. They're handling it beautifully. Not getting out of their sets at all.
Beverly again on the drive. Vasiljevic.
That's in.
That's the guy you can't leave alone.
Yeah, they don't want, you got to, I mean, he's not going to make every single one of them. But right here, Ingram has to get to the lane to score. He's not a good outside shooter. He's got to dribble and get to the lane to try to make something happen for his team here.
Mahan on the drive. Scoops it off the glass and in.
He was a spark off the bench in their first game. That may be his role this year. And of course, right now for UCF, nobody really knows what their roles are going to be, including the coach.
Long has it knocked out of his hands. Effort all over the place on the floor. UCF has been down by 10, but has cut it down to 5. For those of you watching on CBSSports.com, our streaming coverage will conclude after the commercial break, but we'll continue on CBS Sports Network, which you can find us by going to CBSSportsNetwork.com/channel finder.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate, a former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
"I've got this."
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
My name is Jay, and a little thing I like about the grilled nuggets is they taste fresh, juicy, and delicious. Quite frankly, eating them plain in their own seasoning really hits the spot, and it tastes like grilling chicken in your backyard. They definitely got it right.
Hey, I'm Colin. I like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese because it reminds me of my Nana's mac and cheese. But this is a little bit better because it has the perfect amount of smoothness and creaminess. But I still love you, Nana.
Looking for an easier way to shop for your pets? With Chewy, you can get everything your pets need delivered right to your door.
Delivered?
Food, litter, even prescriptions.
Oh, wow.
And you never have to worry about running out.
Huh. Oh, no.
With Chewy's auto ship service, you can set repeat deliveries based on your schedule.
Sounds so easy.
So make the switch to Chewy and get everything your pets need delivered at a great price.
Huh.
Save 30% on your first order at Chewy.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. And now for the fun stuff. The Acura Season of Performance event. Hurry in.
That guy stole Bob Wenzel's hat during the break. Jason, and the guy on the right's in the wrong stadium. Jason Horowitz, the coach. Bob Wenzel, happy to have you back with us here in Orlando. High pace for Miami and UCF here in this ballgame early for a couple of teams trying to figure out what they're going to be here in this new season.
Well, there's a bunch of question marks, right, for both teams. But I like the aggressiveness of Miami from the beginning. The experienced players did it. That is Cameron McGusty right there. He's a transfer. He had 2 very productive years at Oklahoma. Comes into the game right away, gets to the basket and gets fouled. Then makes a pass inside for a score. Then hits a 3. He's got 8 points. And because he started well like that, the other players on his team followed suit. So 8 points so far, 2 for 4, made his free throws. This is a player who's going to have a big role for the U this year.
Well, and an interesting point in this ball game here is UCF is on a little mini 5-0 run. All 3 freshmen on the floor. No Chris Likes, no Vasilovic right now, so their experienced backcourt has given way to its freshman backcourt. There is McGusty with the ball, checked by Dre Fuller. 1 on the shot clock. McGusty beat it. It's off. The Canes to the offensive glass, and Diggs is fouled. Officials come together, and they're going to call that foul on Anthony Walker reaching in.
6'9" freshman. Larinaga does not mind this one bit. Go after it on the offensive glass. 3 orange jerseys surrounding Diggs, and a very aggressive play there. This is what you want from your front court players. That is excellent, and 2 of those guys were freshmen.
And we were at practice this morning for Miami, and they spent a good amount of time with nothing but coming down with rebounds off the glass and not getting the deflection. That's Cesar DeJesus, who's having a good start. UCF is on a 7-0 run.
They are right back in the game as they should be as a home team. I'll tell you what, there's 10,000 seats in this arena, and most of them are filled, even in the upper deck. Nice play by Miller right there. He has really developed. Set out all of last year, lost 45 pounds. He's got some offensive skill as a 6'11" player.
Talk about the atmosphere of the student section where UCF is shooting now completely full.
Top 10 bands in America also. They're very, very good.
For all of Bob Wenzel's top 10 bands in the country, go to CBSSports.com. You might find it. Diggs rattled it around. McGusty is fouled. So you like the aggression on the other side. That one seemed a little over-aggressive.
Well, it's okay. You know, I mean, it's earlier in the year. You would rather see guys aggressive than not. Diggs trying to go in. They do not double team him. He's not a big offensive threat. Diggs comes in after the ball. That's not a problem.
That one is not Bob Wenzel's hat, I can promise.
A lot of students here. That's
Big
very,
time.
very good to see.
That's not a good shot from Walker.
The problem right now for UCF is Colin Smith is on the bench with 2 fouls. He's their best player at 6'11". He's their best scorer totally. He's scored the most points of anybody on the team in a UCF uniform. And him being out, they kind of have to change what they're doing and try to play a little faster and push it, like right now. Push it.
De Jesus, the high floater. Left it short, and Likes is back on the floor and pushing it this time for the Canes. Walker into the lane.
Ill-advised shot by the freshman.
Now De Jesus going to slow it down, the redshirt junior.
You know, it's interesting how enthusiastic freshmen are, and you think about it, all right? These guys are not one-and-done type players, so they are playing in their 2nd or 3rd college basketball game, and they are super excited. Bertz from deep. He played last year, made 34 of those on last year's team as a guy who was maybe like the 6th option. B.J. Taylor, of course, Taco Fall, Aubrey Dawkins, all gone.
Charles Brown gone. Terrell Allen gone. McGusty on the drive.
Loves the look. Loves the look.
Tapped in. No. Miller there to clean it up. They are all over the offensive glass here in the first half.
No doubt about it. And Miller has been the fortunate recipient. Give Walker the credit there. He's the one who kept it alive. Walker only started playing like 4 years ago. Can you believe that? 6'9", 215, jumps out of the gym. Look at this. Look at that challenge, and he makes it anyway. Bertz is going crazy from both sides of the floor.
Now, they may have started 1 of 5 from the floor, but the Knights starting to catch fire behind the arc. It's a 1-point game.
They're in a mode where they're not thinking and they're just reacting, which is great.
Gusty on the drive, got contact, it rolled out. Another offensive rebound.
That's wrong, the freshman.
Miller, he looks pretty winded, finds McGusty, and he's fouled underneath. But UCF has come back in this ballgame, Bob.
Big run, 15-6, and the students are loving it. The Knights are on the run. Bertz from deep. New line, who cares? I can make it anyway.
Drivers just won't put their phones down. We need a solution. Introducing Smart Dogs, the first dogs trained to train humans, stopping drivers from liking, selfieing, and whatever this is. Available to the public? Never. Smart Dogs are not the answer, but Geico has a simple tip. Turn on Do Not Disturb While Driving mode. Brought to you by Geico.
Mom's gonna kill us.
Gorilla Super Glues. Of course.
Gorilla has a fix for every project. Original brush and nozzle and precise gel. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Now at Domino's, we're more than just hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're $7.99 gluten-free crust, $7.99 handmade pan crust, $7.99 Brooklyn-style crust, and $7.99 crunchy thin crust, too. Carry out 3-topping pizzas on any of Domino's 5 crusts for just $7.99 each.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these.
Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
Izzy is crazy about boxes. In her lifetime, she'll jump in and out of hundreds. That's why Iams creates delicious recipes tailored to help keep her at her adventurous best. Iams, who I am.
UCF has gone on a run to get back in this ballgame after a sloppy start, and they're using the three-point line to do it.
Well, they're doing two things, the three-point line and the drives to the basket. Bertz from the right wing, then drives to the basket. Here's Mahon. And then Caesar, DeJesus, Mahon again. So what we're seeing, this is typical college basketball when they're going well. Threes and layups, not so much mid-distance shots. For Miami, Likes has got to be an efficient scorer. He hasn't been so far, but they're still playing well. 5 guys on the defensive boards. They've been very aggressive there. Physicality in all areas for the Knights, and paint scoring like those layups. It's not the post up, but it's the drive to the lane by their perimeter players. And DeJesus has been the guy chief in that run.
13-4 over the last 5 and change. And that's a miss for McGusty. Miami's free throws, the first 2 games, they were 13 of 25 at the free throw line. McGusty, that though his first miss, splits the pair, 24-22. He's got 9 to lead all scorers for Jim Larrañaga in his 9th season at the helm. Last year they suffered through a losing season for the first time since he went to South Florida. And for Larrañaga, after a 14 and 18 year, his first losing season since his first season, not at Miami, but his first season at George Mason.
He's done a remarkable job at Miami.
That's a foul called on Wardenberg. Meanwhile, Johnny Dawkins, in his 4th season at the helm of UCF, led them to their greatest year in Division I. They have averaged 22.5 wins per season in his 3 years here in Orlando.
Yeah, he's done a remarkable job. And, of course, he had his son, Aubrey Dawkins, playing for him. B.J. Taylor was an all-conference player. And probably the most unique college player in the last, 10 or 15 years in Taco Fall, the 7'6" player. And he did a great job. And they played aggressive defense, and they stopped people. Wardenberg back in the game right now, who did a good job early in this game, keeping the ball alive. Vasilovic defending DeJesus right here, and gets a little too much hand on DeJesus.
Well, you were just talking about all the players who are gone for UCF, including Aubrey Dawkins, which gets to where UCF this year is in the nation 4th fewest percent of their points returning in all of college basketball. Virginia Tech, new head coach. Tulane, new head coach. South Dakota State, new head coach. UCF doesn't have a new head coach.
Well, you make a run like that, you've got to replace guys, and it takes time. He's got to see how these guys can play. You have a lot of different kind of players. You have grad transfers, you have JC transfers, you have freshmen coming in. So mixing all those guys together is not an easy task for any coach.
Another foul called on Miami. This one is on Likes. And so now they're starting to pile up here. 6-team foul on Miami. UCF also 16 fouls with 6.5 to play here in the opening half.
And not bad. Nobody's in the 1-and-1 yet. Likes, interestingly, has not been a big part of the offense in this game. And he will be, believe me. Right now, he's just feeling things out, getting other guys involved. Hasn't been overly aggressive with his shot at all. And he is a guy who can take it on the dribble on his own at any time.
Bob Collinsmith is checked back into the game. He's got the ball now when he has 2 fouls.
This is dangerous. This is very dangerous by Dawkins. But he knows Collinsmith. He played a lot last year. He's the leading returning scorer at 8 points a game. But with 2 fouls, he gets another one. I think Johnny Dawkins is feeling he's got to stay in this game right now in the last 5-6 minutes of the half so he doesn't get buried by halftime.
Well, and he also knows that his team has been kind of getting eaten up on the glass.
Well, they're also going zone here. Matchup zone, causing some confusion. That was a walk.
Wasn't called. McGusty penetrates the lane. Dane Gack off the bench, tapped it back, and another offensive board. Scramble mode for UCF. Great look to Wardenberg. Batted around again, and it's off of UCF back to Miami.
They're doing a job on the offensive glass, there's no doubt about that. A big team also right here with Diggs and Colin Smith. Pump fake, no foul. Lots of activity on the glass, which is what you like to see from any team.
And remember, the new part in college basketball this year, the shot clock resets to 20 seconds, not 30, when you retain possession with an offensive rebound, or in this case, loose ball out of bounds.
Right. No, that's one of the new rules. Of course, the three-point line being further out is another rule. And the flopping situation, calling flopping, I think is going to be a major positive for college basketball.
Gusty. Now he has cooled off, as has Miami. They jumped out to a 19-9 lead. Really starting to struggle a little bit. Milan still can't get his first UCF bucket. He's now 0 of 8 in a Knights uniform in his first 2 games.
I'll tell you what's interesting to me for Miami. Miller has been in there the entire time. The 7-footer from Oak Hill Academy, who sat out last year, number 14. He's along the baseline right now. He wants to be receptive to passes here on penetration.
Diggs pulled down his 4th rebound. Avery Diggs off the bench.
Yeah, not bad, huh? Colin Smith needs a touch.
Ingram's back on the floor.
Ingram will get Smith a touch. Ingram is a smart player.
Find Milan again. This time he knocks one in.
He pointed to the sky and said, "It's about time." He's got the reputation as a great three-point shooter. Haven't seen it yet this year. Interesting zone. The area at the free throw line will be available. You put a player there who can make shots and passes both. I think Wardenberg is good there, right there. That's what you want.
That's a great move. That's a spectacular move.
Well, that's where you want to get the ball against that type of a zone, especially when it's extended. You need a guy there, though, who can put it on the floor, can make passes and shots. You can't just throw it to a statue there, right? And he is very, very active.
Ingram trying to penetrate the defense. Found Diggs, 8 on the shot clock. Bertz has 2 triples. That one too far. Ingram, the offensive board. No foul. 2 points, and UCF back in front.
Activity for Dazon Ingram. He's got a nice way about him. Composed when he plays, but he plays hard.
Vasilovic off on the answer. Here in the opening half, Miami just 2 of 12 from beyond the arc.
That's because the wrong guys are taking them. Likes should be taking more. This is going up. Nope.
Didn't hit rim. Shot clock did not reset.
Colin Smith has really not been active trying to get the ball here. He's coming out for a screen and roll.
Ingram gets around Likes, draws the contact, puts it back up. Counted in the foul. Dazon Ingram all by himself to give UCF a 3-point lead and a chance at a 3-point play on the other side.
He's going to be their best player. The 3. No problem for Milan. Ingram with the offensive board, the pump fake, and the goal. He's their best guy.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the ILX at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. And now for the fun stuff. The Acura Season of Performance event. Hurry in.
Bacon mac and cheese bites are the perfect comfort snack.
I needed some comfort, man. It's been a tough day.
What'd you do?
Well, I only got 10 hours of sleep.
Oh.
Get them while they're hot. Bacon mac and cheese or chili cheese bites are $2.99.
With the money I've made on Poshmark, I've been able to pay for all our family's vacations.
I could pay for my wedding just on what I've made from Poshmark.
I've made over $10,000 and I was able to buy my new car.
Download the free Poshmark app now.
We made USAA Bank for members like Cassie. She's made of nerves of steel. So when she has to perform one of the most dangerous jobs on the ship, she says, no problem. She's practical and always gets the most bang for her buck. So when another bank tried to charge her monthly service fees, Cassie said,
no way.
We made USAA Bank to help Cassie keep more of her money with no monthly service fees or minimum balance requirements. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T.
Well, the U hit Rome this summer for a trip. Miami trying to bounce back from last year where really just 7 guys, and they got to experience all that Italy had to offer. Built the chemistry like a lot of these overseas trips did. And Chris Likes, right leader of this ball club, along with DJ Vasiljevic. But so far tonight, their leading scorer from last year, one of the best scorers in the ACC returning, held to 2.
Yeah, and he's missed a couple of shots early, but he's trying to get other guys involved in the game, and he's going to be up near his average by the time that this game is over. You know, the good thing about foreign trips, especially for teams like both of these teams, because UCF also went to Spain, is that you get to practice for 10 days before you go over there. So you have all these new players, and you can build something. You got to put in your defenses. You got to put in your sets. You know, that takes a lot, and you don't want to do that in October when practice starts. So you get a jump on the season by doing that.
The other nice thing about the trip is you're on a trip. Italy and Spain, lovely in August.
Nice restaurants.
Miami had a 12-3 lead in this ball game. Johnny Dawkins took a timeout. Since that point, they have completely stifled Miami's offense. And until last couple of trips, have settled things down on their own offensive end. Likes right to the bucket, draws contact, no foul. Doumbia off the bench. And Ingram needs someone to come to get the ball.
Ingram has getting more and more comfortable. Early, he had a problem with Likes and actually pushed off and got an offensive foul. Since that time, he's just put it on the floor and penetrated into the lane with whomever was guarding him, and that has been very productive.
Doumbia with 3 on the shot clock, drives the lane, lost it going up, and Vasiljevic ripped it away with 1:38 to go in the opening half.
It's been a good game. It's been well played, even though shots are not falling all the time. Players look like they know what they're supposed to do in each of the situations that present themselves. The freshmen from both teams have been very, very aggressive and have done good things, and we get a little timeout right here by Larrañaga.
Miami's taking a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds as well with 1:18 to go in the half.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the ILX at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. And now for the fun stuff. The Acura Season of Performance event. Hurry in.
Now coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, John Rothstein, all the latest in college basketball stats, highlights, and more. All coming up on AT&T at the half. Plenty on Evansville and head coach Walter McCarty going to Rupp Arena and knocking off #1 Kentucky. Speaking of teams trying to figure out who they are early in the season.
Well, McCarty obviously is from Evansville, grew up in Evansville, and played at Kentucky and then played in the NBA for a long time. So a great win for him. Congratulations to Walter. That's fantastic. What we're seeing right here is lack of outside shooting by Miami, even though they've been very aggressive. They're 2 for 12 from three-point range. UCF is 4 for 10. And I think the game is being played very evenly despite the bursts by each team. And I think this is a very evenly matched team. The game is going to be close all the way.
Ingram on the break, pushed it to Jesus. The lob for Doumbia, couldn't put it down. Miami Miami. Back the other way. McGusty into traffic.
He's got 11, 8 early, and now he's trying to get, I mean, he has shown ability to score in transition and in the half court. That is exactly what Miami needs. Vasiljevic has been quiet offensively in this game. They are very aware of his presence.
Jesus has been working on his outside shot. That though, the floater. Doumbia again at the rim. And then aggressive with the foul.
Does he have some hops? Oh my goodness.
Now he drew the foul, but we're seeing this all half.
How about this? 2 possessions in a row, he's been above the rim and have scored 0 points.
Ibrahim Famuke Doumbia, who played 12 games in South Carolina 2 years ago off the bench, transferred here to UCF, sat out last year. Wardenberg for a 1-and-1, rolled it out. Shot clock turned off.
They want to go for 1 shot. It would be wise for Ingram to hold the ball all the way down until the end and make some penetration.
Laundra, 3-point shooter, top of your screen if he can find him. There's a swipe. McGusty has done it all here in the half. 3 to get it off. Good if it goes, and Miami's going to have the lead going to the locker room.
Experience matters, and McGusty's got 13 points. 2 productive years with the Oklahoma Sooners. That gives you the experience to make that steal and make this bottom. McGusty's been the player of the game for the U. Area where they were down by 10 or 12 points.
Miami hit their 2 threes early, went cold, missed their last 9 from beyond the arc.
And the problem for Miami is Likes with the ball. The point guard is their best player, 1 for 4 in the first half. Well below par for him.
He and Vasiljevic combined for just 5, yet they had the lead. Here is Vasiljevic, floater in the lane, and right to the guy that needs to score.
No doubt about it. Second leading scorer coming back on the team behind Likes. Averaged 12 points a game last year. So he needs to get moving. Bertz was a good shooter in the first half. Right away, Colin Smith. 2 fouls. He only played 7 minutes in the first half. And now they go to him immediately. He loves to face up, and right here, good quickness for a 6'11" player. When he got back into the game in the first half, he was very passive. He was afraid to get his 3rd foul. Johnny Dawkins put him back in, and he was not effective when he got back in. Now he's got a clear head, only 2 fouls. He feels like he can play.
Well, and he drew the 3rd foul on Rodney Miller, who had a productive first half in the middle for Miami.
Miller was 3 for 3 from the field, and right here, Likes is going to get a chance for 3. And we can see the new 3-point line right there. The old line is the black line. The new line is the white line. And right here you can see he pulls up from way beyond the international line, as we call it. Hits front rim. And a little front change of direction made Bertz slip. Well, that could have been a interesting play right there, where he fell down on his own right there, faking the foul. 3-point line extended. That's one thing. The shot clock resets. You've explained that earlier in the half. Timeouts can be called by the head coach. And flopping. That's the big thing to me. We had a game the other day, you and I actually, and there were 3 flops. The first one is a warning. The second one is a Class B technical. And the third one, of course, is a Class B technical. And that's 1 shot, and play continues from where it was disrupted. So on that play right there, I thought Likes fell down without having to be forced to fall down. That could have been called.
Well, and remember, the flopping part that you're talking about can be on the offense or the defense.
Correct.
And
most people think of it as the charge situation.
Right.
I think it's more important with these head bobs that James Harden does, and the college kids try to emulate him.
Well, and kicking your leg out, too. That's the other part, which Ingram was complaining about. Smith is fouled. He wants goaltending. And they are going to count the bucket. So Collins Colin Smith out of the locker room, showing aggression. Clearly the emphasis here to start the second half for the Knights.
Well, there's no doubt about that. He has to take on a much larger role this year than last year. Last year, he was like the fourth option. This year, he has to be the #1 option on the team. He's got good quickness for a guy 6'11". The Bowles School, high academic place in Jacksonville, Florida. Went to GW and then transferred here.
That was with both free throws here in the second half. He does have 6 points to go with a couple of boards. McGusty at 13 in the opening half. They still can't buy a 3.
2 for 14.
Vasiljevic leads in. No. Bertz taps it out to Ingram.
That was a wild shot by Vasiljevic. No need. ISO. ISO. Nice D by Wardenberg there.
De Jesus for 3. Bertz the follow.
Yikes. Who's blocking that guy out? Nobody.
Who says he only stands behind the three-point line? Not true. Crossover. Contact. And a blocking call on Colin Smith.
That's #3. Colin Smith tries to help out right here. Take a look at this. Bertz on the tap-in. Nobody blocks him out. And at the other end, on the drive, Smith was moving to his left. That's a clear defensive foul.
You know, that goes back to what we were just talking about there in terms of flopping. The Smith has 3.
Harlan Beverly at the line, who's been a really good player from Miami in their first 2 games. Only a freshman from Detroit. I'm sorry, I interrupted you on Smith.
But to your point, though, as players, right, they're taught, at least they have been in the past, to fall down when you're approaching the contact in a blocker charge. Even if you don't, but if nobody touches you, they can call a flop underneath the basket as well.
Sure.
De Jesus hangs. No. Smith still aggressive with 3 fouls. Puts it back in. UCF back up by 1.
Great decision by Johnny Dawkins to not take him out. And the reason he's not taking him out with 3 right now, he feels like he's got to get some rhythm to his game. He can't be yanking him in and out just because of the foul situation.
E.J. Vasiljevic with the answer. His 3 isn't falling so far tonight. Vasiljevic just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc, so take it inside.
ISO again. If he draws a double, he'll pass. Let's take a look at Smith on the play just beforehand. He is right here. Take a look at him as the play develops. Goes around his man, stays active, and goes up strongly. That's what you want from a 6'11", 240-pound player.
And Bobby drew the 3rd foul earlier on Rodney Miller. Now he has drawn the 3rd foul on Sam Wardenberg. So Anthony Walker back on the floor. McGusty goes to the bench.
That's a good point. If he can get other teams in the American Athletic Conference in foul trouble, they're big people in foul trouble, that will be a big plus for this team.
Milan floater with the left hand.
He's known as a 3-point shooter, and he is left-handed. He made a 3 early, and that was a very nice drive. Now, this guy's an older player. He's been at 3 schools, Boston College, William & Mary, and now here with the Knights.
Beverly. Finally, Miami hits a 3, and it's a big one from the freshman.
He's a scorer, there's no doubt about that. De Jesus taking over for B.J. Taylor, who is a great player here.
Back to Smith. Offense going all the way through Colin Smith.
No doubt about it. They are going to him big time.
The officials taking a timeout. Sam Wardenberg took one on the face.
Yeah, he got hit in the face. New Zealand product. That's on my bucket list of places to go.
Now, are you going to combine it with
to go there next year?
Sure. Can we make it like a New Zealand, Fiji, Australia 3-week trip?
I don't have 3 weeks. I know you have, but I'm more busy than that.
I'll let you handle the 3-year-old. It's a long trip. Dane Gak checks in for Wardenberg. Gak only played a couple of minutes in the first half. Those 3, Wardenberg, Gak, as well as Vasiljevic, all products of that part of the world, New Zealand and Australia. Beverly to the rack, and it's swatted out of bounds.
This was interesting. Beverly is now playing point guard, and Likes, who's the smallest player on the floor, is playing the off-guard position. Right here, he puts it on the floor. He's got a very nice handle, good body control, nice defense by everybody. Excellent.
Who was there to block? It was Ingram.
Likes needs a shot. He's less aggressive than I've seen him in the past.
And that's an offensive foul.
Wow. Move your feet, Caesar. He doesn't agree. No. But yes, for sure. That's experience on the part of Cesar de Jesus. Push off, left arm.
That is the 4th foul on Miami here in the early going of the second half. Just the second on Likes, but fouls starting to build up a little bit. Miller with 3, Wardenberg with 3, both on the bench.
Jim Larinaga has a problem from a coaching viewpoint right now. His best player is Likes. Likes is 1 for 4, can't get a shot off. He's being defended very well by UCF. What do? Do you take him out? He's moved him from point to 2 guard right now, and that hasn't helped.
Travel on Colin Smith.
He didn't need to make a fake. He caught the ball close enough to the basket to just go up strongly, and instead he pump faked, and when he pump faked, he moved his feet.
We got a good one going on here in Orlando. Early season sunshine showcase between the Canes and the Knights.
In a world of powerhouses and underdogs, 4 gridiron experts.
That game, fellas, delivered.
Dare to tackle the biggest headlines in college football.
This is a scary offense to play.
Along with Professor Z. They go inside college football. Next on CBS Sports Network.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate. A former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
I've got this.
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Shrimp, yeah. Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp is back for just $15.99. Get all the shrimp you want, any way you want them. Like new Sriracha Honey Shrimp, Savory Grilled Teriyaki Shrimp, Classic Shrimp Scampi, and more. Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp ends November 17th. Hurry in.
The only times that matter in this race are great ones. Do it for the cheers.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
The dynasty continues. Virginia is your national champions. Will return to glory. It's a Kepka coronation.
CBS, the home of champions.
Coming up next, we switch over to the studio and football. Get your latest updates and predictions of the season. It is Inside College Football after the game, only on CBS Sports Network. Our guys will react to the latest college football rankings, the playoff rankings. LSU has taken over #1 for Ohio State after the epic win against Alabama. The Tide, without much of a resume to speak of other than the eye test, still hanging in there. #5, Georgia, the top one-loss team. Minnesota moves all the way up from 17 to 8. By the way, that's not far enough for the Gophers. They play heck of a defense there in Minneapolis. Speaking of defense, we're trying to figure out what the offense will be for UCF with all these new players. This is still the staple of a Johnny Dawkins team.
Well, they play very aggressively. They challenge shooters. In the scouting report, they find out who does what, and they try to take that away. Now they're going zone. They did this in the first half. Matchup zone. They tried to do this to protect Colin Smith's foul situation.
Walker floats it in.
He is going to be a player. Walker has great bounce and great instincts. He hasn't played but 4 years of basketball. He's going to be a very good player for the Canes.
Smith still in there with 3 fouls, and he draws the whistle on Dane Gak. Back to Anthony Walker.
I love his activity. Right here, look at how high he jumps on this play, and he, kind of hits every part of the rim and it goes in. He needs to learn a lot about the fundamentals of the game, but his athleticism and his willing to work hard, very aggressive nature. Terrific, terrific play.
That's tapped out to Beverly, another one of the freshmen. Running at Bertz. He floats it in, and Miami's lead is back to 6.
I'll tell you what, their freshmen are going to be good players. Beverly and Walker are in there right now doing some damage.
Back to where the offense has gone the entire half. But Smith throws it away into the backcourt.
Well, Jim Larinaga has Dane Gak playing Colin Smith. And that's an advantage for Johnny Dawkins in terms of experience. And Jim has to do that because of the foul trouble to Miller. So Gak has got to do something and try to help his team out here at the defensive end.
And Miami has done all of this with Chris Lykes struggling offensively in this ballgame.
And Chris Lykes is on the bench right now.
Back to Walker, wide open space.
How about that? This is my new favorite player. Man, oh man, has this guy got some game.
It's a 9-0 run for the Canes to go back up by 8.
Wait till Walker understands how to really play. He's going to be super.
An offensive foul.
Oh my goodness.
Called on UCF, and Johnny Dawkins has no idea why.
We got to play that one back.
Now they're calling a moving screen on Avery Diggs.
I see. Well, Walker fouled DeJesus, but Avery Diggs moved his right hip into the lane, and that's what caused the foul. Right there, the official felt he moved his right hip.
Well, that's one of those things you don't see very often, because Walker with a football move to get the ball. But there's no question, Diggs definitely committed the foul first.
Walker is nothing if not aggressive.
Canes working on a 9-0 run. Back to Beverly with the bigger Smith in his face, and a travel from the freshman.
Maybe he give back call. I don't think he switched pivot feet right there. Lots of times guys do when they square up. Didn't look like it to me. Watch his pivot. Well, he did. He moved one foot, then he moved the other foot without putting the ball on the ground. Can't do that.
Now, turnovers were not a problem for Miami in the win against FAU over the weekend. Just 6. Only 5 tonight for the Canes.
I think what has to happen right here is Smith is being dominant right now, and they've got to get somebody else involved. Now, that was a nice play where he becomes a facilitator, but they can't just ISO him all the time on the block down there. They got to move the ball and get some other guys involved.
How often do you see a team run their entire offense, perimeter and the interior, through their 6'11" big man? Silvich backs it out. 8 on the shot clock. The senior for 3.
Oh my goodness! I thought he got hit, didn't you?
I did.
I even heard it from over here, and he made it anyway. No complaining, though. 2 big guys in the game right now for UCF, Diggs and Colin Smith. They've made a couple of plays well together.
They get Milan free. Gak gets the board. Vasiljevic off and running. He had 3 in the first half, 7 here in the second. Beverly, another floater for Miami. Largest lead of the ball game for the Canes. Wow. And a timeout taken by UCF.
The freshman point guard is a tall one, and he has hit 2 difficult floating shots. When you float, you go forward. A lot of times you hit the back of the rim. Vasiljevic from downtown Orlando. Miami with the freshman. Big run.
This season, the Home Depot has a few new presents for you, like image search. Snap a picture, find what you're looking for, and a product locator, so you know exactly where to go for the perfect gift. Get online reviews to make the best choices on the things you'll love. And free delivery on over 1 million online items. This Christmas, it's even easier to bring home the magic with the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
How do you make Red Lobster's endless shrimp even hotter? You bring back Nashville hot. Oh yeah, it's back. Crispy shrimp tossed in a spicy rub and drizzled with sweet amber honey. More shrimp, more ways. Endless shrimp's $15.99. Hurry, it ends November 17th.
Thursday night at 7 Eastern, we have Maction as Buffalo takes on division rival Kent State only on the 24-hour home. CBS Sports. The Bulls looking to become bowl eligible. They get a win at Kent State. Well, Miami's on a 14-2 run, Bob Wenzel.
I'll tell you what, the Hurricanes have done it with some of the young players on the team. Right here, Walker in the middle against the zone. Vasiljevic, the experienced one from downtown. And Harlan Beverly's got 10 points on some difficult floating shots. Beverly and Walker, the two freshmen, have been outstanding in this game. They are playing with some gusto. They are playing with no fear whatsoever. They're not afraid to do things wrong so far, and they have been very, very good.
Beverly had 14 points against FAU on Friday. He has 10, most of it coming here in the second half. 8 of those 10 here in the second half.
Right now, Smith is the only big guy in the game. Before they had Smith and Diggs, but now Ingram is back, and he is the guy who makes things run smoothly. Let's see if they double Smith when he makes the catch in the post. High pick and roll here.
Green can hit threes, drills a triple.
Nice call, my friend. I don't know, I might have you sitting next to me on the bench someday when I'm coaching some team. You know, you could.
I'm the analytics guy.
Yeah, you're the metrics. You do the metrics.
Beverly again. That's tapped out. Miller playing with 3 fouls. Using the elbows, didn't hit anyone. And Ingram.
Ill-advised. He was quadruple team. Should have passed it back out. He was on the bench and has a good rest right now, even though he's playing with 3. He's a better defender than the other bigs on the team. So he's going to have the assignment of guarding Colin Smith.
Ingram with the patience. Oh, you can tell who's going to be the facilitator of this roster this year for UCF. Vasiljevic, the step back. That was deflected by Bertz. Bodies to the floor again. Last touch by UCF. Timeout on the floor. Miami basketball when we return.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. And now for the fun stuff. The Acura Season of Performance event. Hurry in.
With the money I've made on Poshmark, I've been able to pay for all our family's vacations.
I could pay for my wedding just on what I've made from Poshmark. I've made over $10,000 and I was able to buy my new car.
Download the free Poshmark app now.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
Izzy is crazy about boxes. In her lifetime, she'll jump in and out of hundreds. That's why Iams creates delicious recipes tailored to help keep her at her adventurous best. Iams, who I am.
This patty melt is loaded. Beef patty, grilled onions, melty cheese on Texas toast.
I propose a toast.
Oh, awesome.
Peter, you're dull.
Okay, this feels more like a roast.
Ah, I propose a roast.
Grab a patty melt while they last and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
Jason Horowitz, Bob Wenzel back with you in Orlando, where Miami and Jim Larrañaga have had a dominant second half. This is a coach who has been in this industry well over 30 years. He is in his 9th season at Miami. 646 career wins, 10th among active coaches. 3 25-win seasons with the Canes in his 8 years. 4 trips to the tournament. 2 of the 3 Sweet 16s in school history. And Bob, this is a job this season where, as we show you the ACC preseason picks, they're not in the top 8. You don't see Miami there. Duke, Carolina, Louisville, there they are at 9. Do you think he's got a team that can get towards the top 5 or 6 in the conference?
Not the top 5, but he might be 6th. And they're used to and accustomed to being in there. Included in those 8 years that he before this year, 4 NCAA tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s, right? This guy knows how to coach. And right now, he's coaching aggressive defense without fouling. The Knights only have 7 free throws attempted in the game.
6 on the shot clock. Gak needs to find a shooter. He's got it in the hands of Beverly. The deep triple. Smith chases it down. He's having a whale of a ball game with the fouls. Out into the corner. Mahan, sharpshooter. Still off. Wow.
Not good there. Terrific pass right there by Beverly. Beverly's got savvy for a freshman.
That's a blocking call on Smith. That is foul number 4.
And 2 of those in the second half have been attempts at taking charges. So in some ways, Johnny Dawkins has got to get his guys to stop the dribble penetration. These are always things, you know, I mean, Vasiljevic is going sideways. That's why this was called. And Smith just fell to the floor, attempting. You know, this was not an attempt to trick the officials, but he was attempting, and he was outside of the arc, so he was okay as far as that's concerned. But Vasiljevic was jumping to his right.
So how do you adjust the offense?
Now what you got to do for Colin Smith is Johnny Dawkins has to decide when he's going to bring him back in. Okay, as long as the game is close, he can leave him out. But if the game starts to expand and they get further behind, he's got to get him right back in the game. Worst case scenario, you go to 6 minutes and then put him back in.
8 points, 3 boards for Colin Smith. His impact much larger than those statistics, though. The offense has run through him.
Yeah, when they were going well, it ran through him for sure. But of course, they went exclusively to him a few times where I thought they should have spread it around a little bit.
Now the officials are over at the monitor, and no word just yet exactly on what they're looking at. So they are calling a flopping warning. Now, we told you earlier,
take a look at the official right now. He is giving the bench a warning, okay? When you flop, you get a warning on the first one. The next time something happens with everybody, is this a flop? Okay, a block and a flop on the same exact play. So now they have a warning. And the next time somebody does that on their team, it'll be a Class B technical where you get 1 free throw and the ball where the play was interrupted. Beverly's going a little crazy here. He's taken a couple of bad shots the last couple of trips.
Likes is back on the floor. Great look for Miller.
Dish! Nice by Likes. Man, he's got some quickness. It'll be interesting to see how he plays down the stretch. Having a bad game by his standards, to see if he comes up big as we go down toward the end of the game.
Now remember, also, that's out of bounds off Diggs. Back to the flopping just to finish that off for a second. Remember, that can happen on a block charge and all of that stuff, but it's not a personal, so that's not his 5th foul.
Correct. That is a wonderful, wonderful pass right there by Likes. I don't think Miller's missed a shot in the game. I think he's 4 for 4 or 5 for 5. He's
4 for 5. Yeah, 4 for 5.
Okay. Most of them have been accepting of dishes like that.
Diggs challenges McGusty, who had 13 in the first half, still has 13 in the ball game.
There's a little fatigue at the 10-minute mark.
Diggs cleared some space. I thought he used the off arm.
How about Diggs going over his right shoulder and back over his left? Not known for his offense.
Tell you what, the transfer from Southwest Mississippi Community College, who has dropped 25 pounds himself, giving them good minutes tonight with Smith foul trouble. Wardenberg can't finish, thought he was fouled.
Blocked. Mahan got a piece.
And almost lost the ball. Green's got 2 triples. Offensive board from Mahan. Saves it right to McGusty. 3 also for the Canes. Beverly to the rim.
How about that? Nice finish with his left hand. They turned defense into offense quickly that time, didn't they?
And Ingram's fouled by Miller. That is the 4th on Rodney Miller.
Miami's activity on defense leads to the fast break basket. Let's take a look. Everybody chasing the ball, and right here, McGusty. Beverly, he uses his body to shield the defender and makes it. He is a 6'4" point guard, and they need 2 just in case Likes has a bad night. Wardenberg, they're examining his left leg right here.
And that's Corey Kaplan, the trainer for the Hurricanes. He hobbled off the floor on that last trip down. So he's on the bench, and Miller's now going to the bench with 4 fouls.
Well, the good news is the other players that are taking their place have been in the game. They're not going in cold right now. Diagnosis is going on right now, and we shall not diagnose from here. 6'10", 215, Auckland, New Zealand. You know, on some of the life cycle machines that you go, I know you're a gym guy. I was on a life cycle today, and you can punch in New Zealand, and they show you these paths in New Zealand all through the mountains and all that. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Did you get the hills?
Yeah. Mountains, not hills, mountains.
Good quad workout today, Bob?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they continue to check on Sam Wardenberg, who, this in his redshirt junior year, had 11 rebounds in their win against FAU. He's played great on the offensive glass the first 2 games. He had 9 offensive rebounds the first 2 games.
I like the team they have in right now. Beverly at the 1, Likes at the 2, Walker the active freshman, so 2 freshmen, and McGusty the experienced player.
Likes, foot on the line, just a 2. Walker tries to tap it around. And Bertz controls. Important part of the game right now for UCF, down by 9.
Ingram's got to get involved a little bit more. That's a jack. Oh, my God. He was right in front of us. You know, on the UCF campus, they got 67,000 students. They got a Starbucks across the street.
Right.
He got a coffee and shot the 3 at the same time.
Well, gave him the energy to get the lifts. Bertz. Wow. 3 triples. Miami is led by 11. But again, the Knights making a comeback.
Tune it up. That ball was shot so high it killed a pigeon in the ceiling. Look at that. Are you kidding me?
Our tradition for my football team is we dress up, shirt and tie. I had a tie, but I didn't know how to tie it. Usually I would have my dad help me, but he was deployed. I'm thinking, don't worry about it. My grandma should know.
He says, can you tie a tie? And I'm like, no. But we're on our way to Chick-fil-A.
I recognize them because they came into our store so much. Miss Bertha and Mr. Terrence, I'm like, of course, I'll help them out and show them how to tie a tie.
It wasn't just the tie, it's what was in your heart.
It's my pleasure. Doing good, man. You got it.
Oh, great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't know my name, do you?
Of course I know your name. I just get you mixed up with the other guy. What's his name? What's your name?
Switch to Geico. You could save 15% or more on car insurance.
Could you just tell me I want this to be over?
Our wish list is so wide open.
Kick off the holidays with huge savings from Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Like 50% off giant stuffed fish pillows. Save $30 on this Pro Qualifier Baitcast reel, plus free 2-day shipping.
Do you love Reese's? Do you love Reese's Pieces? Well, have we got a deal for you? We're making Reese's with Pieces. Sort of like a buy one, get one free inside the thing you just got. Not sorry, Reese's.
Now tomorrow night, beginning at 7 Eastern, St. Joe's travels to Gamble Pavilion for a battle against UConn, followed by Oklahoma State at Charleston, only on CBS Sports Network. The Huskies in conference with UCF, and they are led by an outstanding backcourt. Gilbert has dealt with injuries his entire UConn career, but when he is healthy, he is outstanding in both preseason All-AAC on second team. Meanwhile, for UCF, unlike UConn, who's having a down year, UCF had the best season in school history, Bob.
No doubt about it. Taco Fall, biggest guy in college basketball last year at 7'6". They win in the NCAA tournament against a very good VCU team. Next up, Duke. They play them to the wire. And in the last play of the game, Aubrey Dawkins missed a tip-in for the win. And here's the 11 new Knights. All different kind of players. Grad transfers, JCs, two-year transfers, first-year transfers, redshirt freshmen. They got everything.
And right now they got the crowd behind them.
Great student section here. They're in the end zone. And they got a wonderful, wonderful band. They got here early. Very, very active student section. They got about 150 guys in that band, guys and gals.
They find Gak with space. Blocking foul, count the bucket.
Well, this is one where the defensive player was inside the restricted arc. Terrific pass right here by Beverly. Actually, he was not in the restricted arc. I thought he was. They have not gotten the calls in that area of the game. All of these block charge fouls that could have gone either way have gone against Central Florida in this game. Against UCF, I should say.
Gak completes the three-point play, so back up to 9. And remember, they were warned for flopping on a play similar to that.
Colin Smith needs to get back in the game.
De Jesus floater. Diggs is having a whale of a ball game. Avery Diggs, 6 points, 5 boards off the bench with Smith on the bench.
Gak is very thin and inexperienced. For him to be in the game at this juncture, I'll tell you what, he's gaining some experience, but this is not great for them.
Vasilovich, the floater. They have used that to perfection tonight.
Wow. I'll tell you, as the game goes on, your legs get heavy. Lactic acid builds up in your muscles, and sometimes you can't get up as well and can't move your feet defensively as well. And that's what's happened right here to the Knights.
It skips the screen. Looking for help. Finds McGusty. Kept his foot on the ground. Those are the first 2 points for Cameron McGusty here in the second half.
The defense on the perimeter against the dribble by UCF has not been good in the last 5 minutes, and that's why they are falling behind 63-52.
On the shelf. Shh.
I think he's trying to tell us something. Say, I think he's trying to tell us to spread joy. Like those IHOP jelly cakes and with funnel cakes. And that kids eat free. All for a limited time.
What? Back it up.
Back it up.
It's IHOP. Limited time.
The Elf on the Shelf menu is only at IHOP, so be good for pancake's sake.
63-52 Miami. And the reason they're ahead is the example that we're going to show you right here. Dribble penetration is the most important thing. And right here, the pass is going to come, and we'll see how it develops. Right here, the dribble penetration. the drive into the lane, and they've done that 3 or 4 times in the last possessions.
Auguste might have traveled, which is what the crowd wanted. Nothing called. Smith back on the floor with his 4 fouls at the 6:40 mark.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come in at least by 6, but they fell a little bit further behind. Diggs has done a pretty good job, but he's not Smith.
Ingram back out to DeJesus right in front of us. We appreciate the lack of full head of steam when he knew it was going out of bounds. Turnover number 15 for UCF.
They've got to shore up the perimeter defense right here. They are letting guys dribble into the lane, and that's what's causing them problems. And there it is again.
Cat couldn't finish, but he drew the foul, and if that's on Colin Smith. And now Likes getting into it with Ingram. And whistles separating all the players underneath. And we're going to get players back to their bench. Gak having to hold back Chris Likes. Jim Larinaga getting in there. And if you read lips, he said, get it under control.
Johnny Dawkins came out also. It's great when the coaches come out. The guys on the bench are not allowed to come out by rule. It's hard to see what happened here. Well, Ingram gave him a shot with an elbow. They're going to have to look at this. See what happened here. Likes started clapping in Ingram's face, and Ingram gave him an elbow. Watch this now. See, he's clapping, and he just pushes off. You can't do that. That's a technical on Ingram.
Well, the first thing that we know for sure, Colin Smith is fouled out of the game. The foul on Gak going to the bucket was the 5th on Colin Smith. So that part we know for sure. After that, they're looking out.
We might get guys thrown out of the game here. One official is going to talk to Larinaga here. See the clapping right here? That's unsportsmanlike. And he bumped into Ingram, and Ingram gave him a shove. So is Likes at fault because he started this? Could be. This would be flagrant 1 if it's anything, in terms of what we're showing you right here on the screen.
Chuck Jones is coming over to talk to us right now.
He's fouled out. We have to get a sub in before we look at the replay. Right. Okay, we got a sub in 5 white. Now we're looking at the replay to see if there's any correction.
All right, so they haven't actually looked at the monitor yet. They had to get Colin Smith out of the game first. He is fouled out of the game, which is what Chuck Jones was just explaining to us. So now Colin Smith is out of the game. They've got that part. Then they go to the monitor. Right. By the way, you know he's fouled out of the game. You could just go to the monitor right away. But they got to give him the 30 seconds for the coaches to get adjusted. Here's where Colin Smith fouled out. There's no questions here. Here's the rest of it. So you think this is going to be a flagrant foul called on Dazon Ingram?
You know, I mean, they could call nothing. I thought Likes was the guy who started it by clapping in some guy's face. That's unsportsmanlike. There's the play. Now, keep a look right there. And then they go after one another.
Bob, this game started with an offensive foul called on Dazon Ingram because Likes was guarding him close. He's not used to having a guy who's 5'7" up. He used the forearm to shove Chris Likes, and that was 35 seconds into the ball game. And they went to the monitor to look at the elbow there. Let's get one more look at this.
Take a look. See, he comes over and he's clapping. I don't know.
I think that's a punch throw.
Yeah. I think Ingram could get kicked out for that.
Yeah. And this is a 5th-year senior, right? This is a grad transfer from Alabama. Started 93 games in his career with the Crimson Tide.
He's been, you know, I mean, you cited the play at the beginning of the game. I mean, that wasn't something excessive. There was no technical or anything on that. He was just pushing off because the guy was in his grill. And he's been very calm. You know, he doesn't have, you know, he's not a guy who's been all over the floor complaining and doing crazy things in this game at all. He's been quite composed, actually, and he was their best player in the first half.
9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Dazon Ingram. Here in just his 2nd game in a UCF uniform. Pat Adams, Chuck Jones, Billy Covington, having the conversation.
Sitting on the side is Jim Burr, who's one of the best officials in the history of college basketball. And he's one of the supervisors. He watches guys. He evaluates what's going on. And he is sitting about right in the middle of the scorer's table. He's the one with the gray hair and the blue shirt on over there. Maybe we can show. Anyway, Jim Burr is here, and he travels around the country. And these guys will, after the game, be shown this play. And they will let us know, which is great for them to come over and let us know what's happening.
All right, again. So again, Chuck Jones is coming to explain.
Hey, brother, what is that? You write this down?
We got it down. I'm writing it down.
So what we got the common foul against 35. Okay, 0 red comes in, claps, punch 12 white. Right. That's going to be a disappointing technical foul on him. Right. 12 white punches him in the face. Okay, which is going to be a flagrant 2. Gotcha. Tossing him out.
So Chris Likes is called for a technical foul. Chris Likes called for a technical foul for clapping in Dazon Ingram's face. But Ingram has been thrown out of this game. Dazon Ingram has been
As
issued
he was
a
talking to me,
flagrant
were
2.
you explaining to our audience what was going on?
You're hearing me, you're hearing you, you're hearing Chuck Jones.
Okay.
One more time at this. So this is the foul on Calvin Smith.
That was easy. Now watch. You see him clapping. And just like I said, this is unsportsmanlike conduct. He's getting a technical. 12, Ingram hits him. And then he's going to get ejected for that.
Flagrant 2.
I'm sure you told him.
Flagrant 2 foul called on Ingram. So they'll get the free throws, and that was the other part of the explanation from Chuck Jones. Miami
We're going to
will
see
shoot
a lot of free throws.
A lot of free throws, because Miami's going to have 2. UCF's going to have free throws. Then Miami's going to have more for the flagrant 2. Well, here's the other thing, Bob, about all of this, right? We've been in about 7 or 8 minutes of a stoppage here. So people who don't like all of the conversation that goes on with replay, now, Chuck Jones did a great job explaining that to you, right? But they took 4 or 5 minutes just to look at this. You can see right at the beginning. First of all, you know it's the common foul, so you got that part. You can see the punch right away, so you got that part. You just have to decide, is the unsportsmanlike aspect of Chris Likes deserving of a technical, which they did.
I saw that right away.
Yeah.
I mean, so that to me was the most obvious. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. You know, the officials, once they have to sort that out. See, they're not seeing the screen when it happens, okay? It's a forest through the trees thing, right? I mean, they're close in. They didn't see the whole thing. And here's unsportsmanlike by Likes. And Ingram just pushes him away, hits him in the face, so he's out.
You know, the worst part about that for Dazon Ingram, if Chris Likes is 6'2", he gets him in the shoulder and he's not ejected from this ball game.
No.
True story.
No.
He's 5'7".
It doesn't matter how big he is. He hit him. That's all there is to it.
It would be a shot. Now, again, by the way, he should be thrown out of this ball game.
No.
Dak missed him.
No, he's out. He's ejected. He's got to leave the bench area. And he's being escorted by some of the people on the staff. And I want to emphasize to people watching, this is not a bad guy. This is not, you know, he just reacted, and he just should have done nothing, and he would have been fine. So here are the technicals because of Likes unsportsmanlike.
Right. Now, the other part to all of this is they have to get the official scorekeeping part of all of this accurate. The personal fouls that go along with the technical fouls. Gak split the pair. Milan split the pair. And now we'll go down to the other side for Miami to shoot free throws again. And by the way, it will be...
Well, one of the good things about this, the players are getting a lot of rest. So they should be fresh when we start over.
And then because of the flagrant 2, Miami will have the basketball after the free throws.
So what you think about is, what is the score? Has the score differential changed? And it's changed by 2 points after all this is done.
Well, here's the other thing that happens. So many times when you get a stoppage like this, Miami was going well. They had the momentum. They were playing the ball. They were moving the basketball well.
Yeah,
they had pushed
7-1 run.
And now back up by 13, but has this stopped any of that? Does UCF regain control? Can they get things back in motion?
I think what you do if you're Miami is you don't take a shot right away, and he does, and it goes in. This guy's a player, man. I mean, Beverly is a player.
9-1 a run for the Canes. Beverly's got 14 for a second straight ball game. Diggs can't hang on, and another turnover for the Knights. That's number 16.
Well, Dangak got in the way, and there was help by Cam McCusty also. Beverly, he got away with a walk right there. But boy, he floats through the air, doesn't he? Thing of beauty. Great body control. Absolutely great body control. 16 turnovers. Points off turnovers big time in Miami's favor.
Doumbia the block. Can that spark the Knights down by 15? Green, pull-up triple. Back to Doumbia, lays it in. What a pass by Bertz to get him the ball.
Bertz has played the best. He's made threes, made clutch plays. One of the more experienced guys on the team. They're switching the high screens now.
Back to McGusty. That's a three. Rebound to Jesus. Green in transition. He's bumped. Counted in the foul.
If I'm Larinaga, I'm thinking timeout here. A long, long time to go. He's got to go small right now. Smith is out. Diggs is on the bench. So they've got to be aggressive defensively. I think they get the ball back.
They did. Gak lost it out of bounds.
Well, and Gak needs to come out of the game. You know, he's not as experienced a player right now, and he's coming out right now. Miller's in for him. Miller has sure hands, and he's a better offensive player.
He also has 4 fouls. And remember, Sam Wardenberg is getting looked at on the bench. They were looking at his ankle earlier. Pull-up jumper. It's off, and McGusty comes down with his 9th rebound to go along with 15 points.
Now, Miami has to keep playing, though. They can't take the air out of the ball this soon and try to work the clock. They've got to keep playing.
McGusty at Doumbia, high off the glass.
Nice, nice. Their penetration to the paint by the perimeter guys has been essential for this lead. Bertz likes the right wing, and he's here.
To Jesus over the 7-footer.
9 on the degree of difficulty scale that time.
In crunch time, it's in the hands back to the freshman, now McGusty. They have trusted Beverly here in the second half, and he has delivered.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Vasilovich, the spin, back the other way. Beautiful footwork.
Wow, what a shot. How about them isolating him on the post?
$11 of his 14 have come here in the second half. De Jesus, the crossover, got space. Green, the board. He has been good off the bench. The freshman has double figures for UCF with 10.
Bertz kept that alive also. The white shirts are attacking the glass.
Inside of 3:20 to play. Miami on the road, up by 11.
Nice D. Pressure, but don't get beat.
Likes left alone for 3.
Wow, what a time to do it. He's been invisible on offense the entire game and makes a big one.
Now Bertz the quick 2.
Man, they need to press here.
Well, they seem gassed, too. Remember, we're only a week into the college basketball season.
I'll tell you, there have been some games that I've watched that were not well played, but this has been well played. I mean, some junctures where it wasn't in terms of shooting, but the intensity level, the drives to the basket, the knowing what to do.
Likes the fancy dribbling and an offensive foul. That's called on Likes.
Miami's got a cushion. Likes has not played a good game, but this one was big. 75-63 visitors.
Do you feel sluggish or tired throughout the day? Have you ever thought the problem could be your liver?
My liver?
Your liver cleanses your body of things like too much food and drink, and if it's all clogged up, you feel sluggish and tired. But there is something you can do. Take Liverite Liverade, the natural dietary supplement just for your liver. Liverite helps your liver work properly so you can feel more energized. Cleanse your liver. Feel the energy. Live right with Liverite.
Thanks, Liverite.
Available at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
Miss Lee, this is Agent Williams from the tax office. Our records show an unpaid balance on your account. If you don't pay by end of day, you'll be facing jail time. Well, the fastest way to fix this is with a prepaid debit card. Can you go get one now? Yes, and we want to clear this up. If you just buy that prepaid card, put $400 on it, then call me back and read the numbers to me.
The moment they ask for a prepaid card is the moment you know something's wrong. Think before you send money. Learn more at scamowareness.org.
For well over a century, college football has been our nation's fairy tale, full of games that went beyond our wildest imagination, plays that felt too good to be true, and people who even decades later wonder if that really happened. Relive the moments that shaped the sport as CBS celebrates the 150th year of college football.
75-63, Miami leading UCF. They're getting a heck of a performance from the freshman Harlan Beverly, particularly here in the second half.
The pull-ups, floaters in the lane have been spectacular. He has great body balance when he's in the air. Those two show it, and he's got a terrific left hand. Keys to the game, Likes has not been good. 5 guys on the defensive boards, not so great because UCF really has done a terrific job being physical, going to the offensive glass, and that's what's keeping them in the game. Miami, 12-point lead because the young players have played very, very well.
Wow, Miami is shooting 57% in the second half. Wow. And only 4 turnovers in the second half, and you take what was a 1-point lead at the break, and now all of a sudden with 2.5 to go, you're up a dozen.
DJ was just telling me, what do you think of that?
That's an offensive foul. Doumbia again called for the moving screen. It's like Vasiljevic knows that you have a step-back jumper.
I met him yesterday when we got here in the elevator in the hotel, and he was delightful. We were talking basketball. He has made some very, very important shots. That 3 at the top of the key and that turnaround jumper that we just saw with the good footwork. Really, really nice.
And again, all part of his struggling first half. He and Likes had a total of 5 points in the first half. Tries to save it. There's the turnover. Knight's got to go. Back to Green. That's a big shot. No.
Man, Bertz has been all over the offensive glass trying to keep the ball alive. That's admirable, especially when you're down this much with 1:50 to go. See, now, with Likes with the basketball, he's a very good free throw shooter. Now you want to run the clock. Get it down low, let him penetrate a little bit, clear a side. He doesn't need a screen. He's better off without a screen.
Working on Milan. Great defense. Knights have to go fast. Bertz, 3 makes today. And just can't buy a bucket late. Wow. Bertz again attacks the glass. Milan has to hoist. Still a loose ball.
Great hustle, both teams. Fantastic all around.
And the arrow stays with UCF with 1:04 here in the ball game.
We've got right now the ACC against the American Athletic Conference right here, Miami and the University of Central Florida. Larinaga, who was a great player at Providence, who's been coaching forever, 646 wins. Johnny Dawkins, who was a great player, player of the year at Duke, and successful at Stanford, and gets UCF to their best season ever last year. So a lot of good stuff going on in this game.
Miami's got Quinnipiac coming up on Saturday. Then they will head to Charleston, where they will start with Missouri State and might see Florida. Remember, Miami still hasn't had Keith Stone, the grad transfer from the Gators, come back yet. Torn ACL in January. They're going to get him back some point in the next couple of weeks.
I think it's going to be soon. I mean, we saw them live going hard, and he was moving very, very well.
There's a three for Green. Freshman's got 13.
Boy, I tell you, Green and Bertz, their shot looks remarkably similar. Very interesting that both, you know, getting both of them in the game at when you're behind as three-point shooters would be advisable. No.
So Jim Larinaga there in the timeout. And again, this will be now a question moving on, because they happen to look at the left ankle of Sam Wardenberg about the 10-minute mark here in the second half, and he has not come back in the ball game. Meanwhile, for UCF, they'll travel up to Normal, Illinois to take on the Redbirds. Then they'll play Charleston here and then fly out to Anaheim for the Wooden Legacy Classic. They'll start with Penn.
I don't see it.
Might get a chance to see Pepperdine, or excuse me, Arizona. Maybe Pepperdine. Of course, Penn had the opening night win on the road in Tuscaloosa against Alabama.
Have you ever been to Pepperdine?
I have.
Awesome campus. Awesome campus. Prettiest campus, you know, it overlooks the ocean there and all. What a beautiful place. I did a Connecticut Pepperdine game there one time.
The West Coast Conference now part of our package here with CBS Sports Network.
Amen. How about St. Mary's losing?
There is Keith Stone now. He is in uniform.
Yep.
They said they're hoping to have him in December. Miami has Illinois in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. But again, you and I watched practice today. He was part of the ones and twos and going hard.
Oh, he was. It was live, and he was going. He had lateral movement. He was jumping and coming down. I mean, he's not a leaper. You know, he's a wide body type player, and was a good player at Florida. Started lots of games. You know, was an important part of their team. He is close to home now at Miami. He's from Fort Lauderdale area. Deerfield Beach, I think.
Yep, 9 points a game 2 years ago. Started 13 of the 17 last year for the Gators. 9-point lead. There's the foul. 1-1 coming for Miami. Tell you what, you and I watching Miami today and knowing that they've got some experience, but Harlan Beverly has been extremely impressive in person.
I agree. I mean, he's been very, very good. He's a tall point guard, 6'4", 6'4 and a half. Handles the ball beautifully. He's got great composure. He can make difficult shots. He shoots left-handed going to the basket as well as right-handed. Haven't seen a big jump shot from him. Most of it's going to the basket stuff.
Inside of the last 30 seconds here, we came into this game wanting to find out both these teams here what their early season test would be and what the teams might look like, and DeJesus is going to hold up likes.
Well, you'd like to see that, right? I mean, that wasn't going to be something nasty at all. DeJesus just didn't want likes to fall down, so he was holding them right there. That was well done.
Well, remember, we've already had one player rejected. Dazon Ingram was thrown out with a flagrant 2. It was an after a play finished skirmish where Likes was getting in his face, and Ingram threw a forearm to the face of Chris Likes, and so he was ejected. Now, there's a lot to like in this ball game if you're a Miami fan.
Well, the fact that Chris Likes was your leading scorer, coming back 16 points a game, second team all-conference preseason, played such a minor role in this game, and they come away with a win on the road with the freshmen doing a lot of damage. I mean, Harlan Beverly and Anthony Walker were terrific in this game. Walker as an active guy on the boards, going to the basket. Beverly handling the ball, making plays, doing the right decisions. McGusty, of course, you know, the transfer from Oklahoma got them off to a good start. His experience being a player at Oklahoma for 2 seasons as an integral part when he played. So he brings good experience. Yep. And now they got to work on chemistry, and they got to work on their defense. Jim Laranaga's defense has been very, very good the entire time he's been at Miami. And I think, you know, DJ Vasiljevic is an important part of this team, too. Not just because of his three-point shooting, which is sort of his signature. Sure. But, I mean, he's tough. He knows how to play. He gets other guys involved. He's got good leadership tendencies when he's out there. He doesn't panic if he's not getting shots. I think he's a good example to the young players on this team.
Well, he's also a thicker guard, too. Yeah. A bigger body, 6'3", 190. Inside the last 20 seconds to Jesus. That's bothered by Walker.
Oh, he got a piece.
And Miami can dribble out the floor. Now, this was a game coming in with a couple of teams, and that's going to be a late foul there on Green.
Yeah, no point in that, really, right?
Now, both these teams picked preseason in their respective conferences 9th. Mostly because of all of the new parts. But again, to your point about Chris Likes, 2 points in the first half. He was still stuck on 2 points at about the 8-minute mark here. He's going to finish in double figures. He's got 10.
Well, when you think about Miami and what's happened with them in the last couple of years, Lonnie Walker leaves early, first-round draft, or Bruce Bowen leaves. You know, rightfully, he's with the Pistons. Right. Walker with San Antonio. And the Dewan Hernandez last year, because he became ineligible, he's with the Raptors. So they lost a lot in the last 2 seasons. So they're rebuilding. There's no doubt about that. And so is Johnny Dawkins. I mean, they have terrific run last year. 2 teams.